Hey, this is Marble Sandy, and I have some things that I'm gonna say. It might get a little heated, it might get a little passionate, because these things need to be said. I'm not here for everybody to like, but I'm here to give a message. So let's roll into it. So if you have any little kids in the room, you might not want them to hear what I'm about to talk about. So, okay, also, if you're other than African American or Latino, please excuse this video, because I'm going to talk about some things that you might feel offensive, but it's what's going on in the world right now. It is what is going on in the world right now. Okay, so I'm getting ready to roll into it. So this is your time. If you want to click off of the video. Alright, so first I'm going to start with the spiritual community. Let's start with that. What's going on with the treachery? And I'm not going to disable comments in this particular video, because I want to see your comments. I want interaction. So this is the time, if you want to write a dissertation or you want to do a response video, I welcome you to it. I prefer the interaction on this video, because I really want to know the answers to these questions. Okay? Before, I had made a video called "The Elder Said Bump Y'all." Well, it seems like every day the elders are saying bump us even more. Okay? Now, what I would like to know is, why is the spiritual community so darn treacherous to one another? That's what I want to know. I want to know, number one, why is it if you charge over $200, all of a sudden you're labeled a scammer? Why is it that this is coming from other spiritual workers? Why? Some of us, FYI, have been called to do spiritual work full time. And the last time that I checked, I live in America. Okay? And it's the year 2016. And every day I look at, I forget the name of this little TV show that comes on that I hear in the background, the prices of things are skyrocketing every day. So I just wonder, why is that? Next thing I want to know is, with this treachery, what is this about? Is this about power? Is this about I have to be right all the time? What is it about? Why is it that I see, I can feel, not see, I can feel and see the treachery? No amount of dancing that I have done in the past, no amount of bartending, no amount of working in a CNA, no amount of working in a factory could have prepared me for the treachery that goes on in the spiritual community. You talk about some Star Wars, dark side, light side versus however that goes. Really? Now, I've always said in my videos and when I write, I always say, I'm not asking for us to sing Kumbaya, and I'm not asking us to stand around the campfire and everything to be sunshine and roses. But what I am asking for is respect. Why can't we respect one another? Okay, we have different traditions. Fine. Fine. But you're going to tell me with those different traditions, we cannot be united? Because guess what? So-called polite society, and I'm including pagans, I'm including Wiccans, I'm including mediums, I'm including psychics, I'm including ATR, I'm including everybody. Anything that has anything to do with that, okay? If society had its choice, we all would be thrown into the darn pit and set on fire. Okay? One way doesn't work for one person. There's many different paths to get to the same thing, the same goal. I would like to know why in the voodoo community, why we don't have our own programs. The Catholics do. Why do we don't have Meals on Wheels for our elders, for our shut-ins? Why we don't have different charities for our young mothers? And there are young mothers. Why we don't have people, why can't we trust one? That's the other thing. Why can't we trust one another? It is a shame. Papa Lou from Georgia, okay, you know, he made a tweet one day that said, a doctor can't operate on himself. And in response to that, I put, that is true, but you have to be careful of the other doctor nowadays. It's a shame that in the spiritual community, we can't go to one another. And I know some people saying, well, we do, but it's not enough. It's not enough. For as many of us as there is not enough of that. I shouldn't be scared to ask you something. I shouldn't be scared to ask you to do something. And I understand that there's some things that, you know, one particular tradition can't share with another tradition, and there's certain secrets, but I'm talking about the basics. Do we hate each other that much? Are we all chasing for the same piece of cheese? That little piece of cheese that everybody seems to, I don't know, they scared that they're not going to get their share? Next. Because y'all haven't been maybe watching the news, what we need to be doing is we need to be coming together, doing some type of work, ritual, to stop all the darn violence. Mothers, I'm talking to mothers out there. Are you not scared for your sons? Are you not scared for your sons? Because if you haven't noticed, America is getting desensitized to black men and black people in general getting gunned down. Because every other day on the news, when I wake up and I do my morning rituals and I turn the news on later, all I see is another black man just shot. Another Creole person, another Latino person. These are somebody's sons. It could be your son. It could be your son. So the mothers need to be getting together. It could be your daughter. I don't know if y'all haven't been paying attention here in New York. We had some cuckoo bird running up behind people, running up behind these women, putting poop in their pants. We're living in a crazy world here, people. And y'all so worried about other stuff. Oh, and in the other part of the news, look at nature. We need to be all doing a ceremony for Grand Bois, asking him, please, do something about the trees. Do something about the woods that are being knocked down. Because let me tell you something, sweetie. A damn deer, a deer was in my yard. And he had no business being this close in my yard. But you know what? You know what? While we up here bickering and arguing and throwing wangas and things like that that don't need to happen for no particular reason, the animals are just taking over. And you know what? Good. The animals, we have sat here as human beings, we have sat here and just took the homes away from the animals. So you know what? The little bears, the rabbits, the deer, the raccoons, they saying, the bears are jumping in people's pools. They like, how about this? Coyotes, they just running amok in New York. Why? Raccoons are attacking pets. So we need to be talking to Grandbois, asking him make these developers stop. In the Amazon, they're just moving all the animals out, and the trees and the medicine, the trees that produce the medicines, the plants that produce the medicines are being destroyed. So we need to be talking to Grandbois. We need to be talking to him, asking him, please, we need to get together and do something. Because it's affecting you. Because you might sit there now and say, well, that doesn't affect me, Mambo Sandy. Oh, no? Okay, so when you get ready to go throw your little wangas, okay, and they don't have the right herbs, or you need to heal a client, and they don't have them no more, you remember, it doesn't affect me. You remember that. Please remember that. Okay? Next. Being that you're not watching the news, a nice little algae, toxic algae, is just floating around in the ocean. It's making people sick. It's very toxic. It's bubbling, and it goes down, they said, about 3 to 4 inches below the surface. It's thick. The newswoman had a strainer, and she couldn't even strain this stuff. It didn't even fall out. That's how thick it was in the net. So, once again, we need to be coming together, asking Lassie Ren to stop. Asking Agwe to stop these ships from dropping oil. And they say, oh, it was an accident. It's always an accident. Oh, we didn't know what we're doing. Okay, and you might say, oh, well, it doesn't affect me. Well, sweetie, it'll affect your behind when you decide to take you a little dip in the ocean and your butt come out full of all kind of stuff. The little jellyfish just all over folks. Lassie Ren is mad. We go there, we give our offerings and everything when we want something, some of us. We need to go down there in the droves and ask her forgiveness. Ask her to protect her waters. Give the energy to protect those waters, for we don't have any water. Because if you haven't noticed, the drinking water just seems like the drinking water, every time you turn around, it's something going on with the drinking water. So let me break this down to you. If the water that comes out the tap all becomes polluted, and those people that are already in poverty and already having a hard time, and the only way you'll be able to get good water is by having bottled water, which sometimes is suspect too, guess what? It affects you. The violence again. Let's talk about people being scared to go out their homes. What about the bombs that all of a sudden they're just popping off? The terrorists are just having a ball. Instead of us coming together asking Ogle Farai, okay, to protect us, we're too busy asking him to do other things against people for no darn reason. If our Loa had the strength and the power to free us from slavery, I know they got the power to stop this madness that's going on. But not one person, not just 2 people, not just 3 people can make it happen. But you know what? We're selfish. And I know most of y'all probably won't pay attention until it comes knocking on your doors. And I'm going to tell you something. Until you get that phone call until you get that phone call that a loved one of yours has been shot down dead, until you get that phone call that one of your loved ones has been blown up, until the day you hold the body of a loved one in your arms, shot down dead because of anger, because of hatred, you don't want that. That's why me, Mambo Sandy, I'm done with grudges. Because that's another reason what goes on in this community. Even within our own societies, we keep grudges against each other. Gede come all the time. He always be like, enjoy each day. And I don't care if it's with Gede come to any society, he always leaves a message. Because I've been to different societies, parties, and Gede always talk about and enjoying your life. Because you never know when Baron gonna come and be like, let's go, sweetie. Time to go. Pack your stuff. Time to bounce up out of here. Don't be trying to hold on then. It's too late. So, grudges will bring you down. Grudges will cause hatred. Grudges will keep you from spiritually growing. I'm not doing it. So if you have a stupid behind grudge that you can't let go of, that's on you. But I tell you what, you won't disrespect me, because I will put it in the hands of the Loa. See, I respect my elders, even when sometimes I might have felt in the past they were wrong. But I know the Loa over them. So, holding a grudge will make you have a darn heart attack. But some of y'all are so immature. Y'all think that's cute. It's not cute. There's craziness going on in this world. And for my African American, my Creole, my Latino people, I don't know if you're watching or not, but we're almost back to how when the civil rights movement was. But in the infamous words of Mambo Sunny, she always say to me all the time, and so did Miss Gail when she was alive, nothing has really changed. The chains are just off. They just can't whip us out in public, but now they're just shooting us dead. And also, it's a shame, but this is what also is going on. What also is going on is you got to be careful on how you speak, because you might get labeled aggressive, ghetto, because people will provoke you, but then they act like they don't know what they're doing. And then when you speak up as a black woman or a black man, you're labeled aggressive. And my poor black men, I'm going to give y'all this, and I want y'all to listen. My Latinos, my Latino men, please listen to me when I say this to you. If you are driving at night and the police pull you over, I beg of you, do not make a move. Do not make a slight move, okay? Be very careful. And if you're a bigger man, like you got some weight to you, or you got muscle to you, be even more careful. My young black men out there, be careful walking in groups, because some of these cops out here and some of these folks out here, they just waiting to gun you down where you stand. Oh, he reached for a weapon and then want to be planted on you. So if you're a voodoo sign, you walk with your loa. You talk to your loa or your, your palo, your santos when you go out. This is serious. Because if you notice, when something happens to one of y'all, all these people get is a tap on the damn wrist. Our lives are starting to be meaningless. Soon they'll be right back to treating us to how they did before if we're not careful. People don't want to hear this. They want to hear sunshine and rainbows. But that's not what life is about right now. Right now, we have all kind of craziness going on. Oh, and the other FYI, you have to be careful of your food. Because every other day, if you watch the news, there's some type of recall. First, there was listeria in the frozen vegetables. Then there was E. coli in the fresh vegetables. So what does that say? We have more to worry about than sitting here throwing wangas at each other, throwing spells at one another, hating each other for stupid nonsense. But I really, and I know there's somebody out there right now saying, Mama Sandy, you're going overboard. Maybe I am passionate, overly passionate about this. But this is what's affecting my community. Alright, this is Mama Sandy, and I'm out. Oh, leave your comments below and let me know how you feel. Even do a response video. Maybe we can get a dialogue started. Alright, my spiritual community, come on, let's get it together.